But if you haven't gone yet and you're wondering what it's like, you're gonna wanna watch this video. I'm gonna tell you how to make your trip as smooth as butter. Now, if you're anything like me, before you visit a place, you want to know what the parking situation's like and what the stroller situation's like. Parking is really easy if you want to pay $7 to $10. If you don't want to pay $7 to $10, stick to the end of the video. I'm going to give you some awesome tips. This is going to be a common theme throughout the whole video. The layout of the museum is very well thought out. What that means is if you want to bring your stroller, don't hesitate because they have plenty of spots for parking. A little bit more about the facilities. First things first, what's near and dear to my heart is food, so I'm gonna touch on that first. It's pretty simple. The menu is simple. You got healthy food options. You got like carrots and some vegetables and some fruit. You got some yogurt, you got some hummus and chips. Very basic options. You're not gonna be there for the food. Plus, if you're anything like me, you don't wanna pay for overpriced food anyway, so you're gonna either wanna bring your own snacks or you're gonna wanna visit one of the local restaurants nearby, and I'll talk more about the options around later. The museum itself is 2 floors, and you got restrooms on both floors, and you got diaper changing stations in all of the bathrooms. Again, well thought out space. Most of the exhibits have 1 exit and 1 entry, which might be a fire hazard, but it's really nice for us as parents because you can kind of park yourself at the door and then you know if your kid's gonna come out or not. I mean, not like I do this because I'm actively involved with my child's play, obviously. All right, I'm gonna move to talking about the exhibits, and this is the part where I just spew a bunch of reasons why this place is awesome. But overall, in one line, it's that this place spurs creativity and it's a great place for learning, great stimulating place. The museum has dedicated slots for story time, and every time we've been there, the employees were just spot on, super passionate. And the thing that impresses me about the museum is that there's something for every phase or every personality or every type of child. So if your child is into outdoor playground and running around and being in the sun, you could do that. If your son is into trucks, like fire trucks or ambulance trucks, or any sort of truck, they have like multiple trucks throughout the first floor. If your child is into anything related to science and tech, obviously we're in the Silicon Valley, so they're gonna emphasize that. There's a bunch of stations that you can explore physics with, whether it's gravity or centripetal force, whether it's balls, coins, gears, or blocks. You can get hands-on with any sort of toy or gadget. If your child's into art, there's a dedicated art station there where they can just wear an apron and get super messy and you don't have to worry about cleaning it up. It's awesome. If your kid loves water or sand, there are stations for both of those things. There's a whole section for water, so you can have your kid wear an apron, you can have your kids wear like rain boots, and you can have them just run around and get all wet. The water place is probably my favorite place to hang out at because it's just so dang fascinating. And in addition to the water station, there's a sand station. We've spent many hours there. Again, it's very well thought out for the parents. You can kind of sit there and be on your phone and check your Instagram and get all caught up. Not that we do that. But the best thing is that there's no mess.
Whoa, Zachary, what happened? Why are all these beans on the floor?
You have no room to walk?
And if you think your kid is a little bit too young to enjoy the museum, there's a dedicated space for crawlers, and there's books and stuffed animals and little things that can stimulate them there. Again, very well thought out place. If you have an older child and a crawler, you can just go and still, both of them can have fun. And again, I keep emphasizing this, but the place is just so great to stimulate learning, whether your child is an auditory learner or visual learner or a tactile learner, or even there are a bunch of books there so they can even read there, even though you can just read at school. But it's cooler if it's in a museum. Last but not least, this place ends up being a great gathering spot for parents of new children, because what else would we be doing? Going to fancy restaurants? And so this becomes a great place for play dates, whether you want to go with one other mom and their kid, or a dad's group even. I've had dad's groups there. It's just a great gathering spot. Ticketing and pricing and stuff. Whether you're going there for one time, you're just visiting, or you're planning to get a season pass, it's worth it either way. Yeah, it might be a little bit expensive, and yeah, usually museums are, but this place has so much value. You can spend half a day there, you can spend the whole day there. There's just so many things to do. I would talk about getting the season pass in this video, but this is just an intro video. If you want to learn more about what it's like to be a season pass holder, just click up here. All right, now that we talked about all the exhibits in the museum, I want to close out with some logistics of getting there. First, you can take VTA to get there. It drops you off literally right in front of the museum. It's like its own dedicated spot just for the museum. So if you're coming in from somewhere nearby and you want to make it a longer trip, you can just do VTA and pay $2 each way to get there, and then you won't have to deal with the parking. But like I said earlier, there are 2 parking lots pretty much right next to the museum. You can pay $7 to $10 if you want to park in those. But there are like 5 metered spots right next to the museum, and it's like a quarter for 15 minutes. So if you want to go for like an hour or 2 hours, it's way less. And if you want to go on a Sunday, the 5 meters there are free 99, and if you want to go walk 2 blocks, if those 5 meters are taken up, it's also free 99. And like I mentioned earlier, I'm gonna loop back and talk about great food options in the area. First is La Victoria. It's a taqueria with great hot sauce. The orange sauce is delicious. So if you want to go and you're craving a burrito or carne asada nachos, it's a great place to stop. Right across the street, there is a Earl of Sandwich, and they have an app. So what we love to do is we like to go to the museum. When we're packing the car, we order our food on the app, go there, pick it up, go home, and have it either in the car or when we're at home. That's it for the Children's Discovery Museum of San Jose. Let me know in the comments if I answered your questions, or if you still have any outstanding questions. I'd love to help you out, and I'd love to answer you. Thanks for joining me today. My name is John, and this is New Dads. It's a channel for fathers in the first 5 years of fatherhood, or anybody with a soft spot for new dads. So if you're into that kind of content, consider subscribing below. Here we cover tips and tricks, we cover awesome places to take your kid, and ultimately we're about connecting fathers together so that fathers can be more involved in their kids' lives. Again, thanks for joining me. Make it a great day, and I'll catch you on the next one.
Such a colorful site.
That was you like an hour ago.
It was not sticky anymore.